everybody, and welcome back to another weather forecast here. As you guys can tell, we're gonna be doing my March preliminary forecast here. I was actually gonna post this yesterday, but I just thought might as well just save it for the 1st of March. So yeah, here's my March forecast. This will be my only video of today. So again, you guys have all of month to see this. Again, these are new maps that I just made earlier today. Precipitation, temperature, and then the regular outlook. Again, this is all new information. Again, it's not going to be 100% accurate, but again, it's mostly more than 80% accurate. But again, if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, guys. Really means a lot when you guys support my channel. But yeah, also be sure to share the channel to any friends or family that you think are wondering about what March is going to look like, or that you think will love my daily weather forecast. Both without further ado, let's get into this video. So I actually didn't realize this was here right now. This little thing right here, that's how I make it. Oh my gosh, I don't want black, I want yellow. So you guys can see, I do apologize for that. I didn't realize I left it on the thing on the page while I was saving it. So please just don't, I do apologize again for that. I don't know if it's bothering you guys, but again, so here's the precipitation map here. And again, it's actually quite different than most months or most maps, because it's actually a bit different with this month. We actually have scattered areas throughout the country that are having completely different aspects to what we're going to be seeing here. But again, yes, we're used to seeing it split up usually west to east, but we're actually seeing some areas that are very close to each other that are seeing completely different precipitation amounts, because we can actually get very close and see a huge difference. For example, we're seeing a moderately above average very close to a moderately below average. But again, we'll be focusing on the below average precipitation first. Again, here we have a region right here into the west. This is where we have a slightly below average precipitation right here for much of the west coast. Again, that's really just going to be mainly for the coastal areas, but for such as near California, the whole state will be under that. And it's not going to get really much into the southwest, not really getting past western Arizona. Again, there's not going to be a huge difference. You're not really going to necessarily feel how dry it's going to be. We're just going to be seeing less precipitation, such as maybe less snowstorms in the Sierras, which will obviously bring in less rain. Not like we saw earlier in January. We saw up to a foot of rain earlier last month as well. It's just going to be a bit drier as we are getting to spring. It's going to get obviously a lot drier throughout much of the country, except mainly the southeast, as that's where we have really the rain just getting started. And then we have another area here where we have slightly below average precipitation that's going to be out there in the Great Lakes and getting also into the Ohio Valley again. We're just not going to be seeing as much snow moving in these areas. Again, usually we have a good amount of snow in March throughout the Great Lakes and Midwest and Ohio Valley, but that's not the case for this month. Looks like we're going to be mainly seeing a flip-flop pattern. Not necessarily, we're going to be seeing a late start throughout these areas where there's a good chance we'll be seeing a late start. And we could possibly see these winter temperatures hanging on here, because that's why we're seeing a late start. But we're not really going to be seeing that much snow. Again, I'm saying we're not going to have snow in these areas. I'm just saying it's going to be below average precipitation on average. So maybe you get 3 inches less precipitation than last March. Again, this is slightly, so not really going to necessarily feel it. But as we get closer to the Great Lakes and Ohio Valley there in the second shade of brown, that's moderately above average. Moderately below average precipitation. And that's where we're going to start to maybe notice some things. Maybe could be seeing a 10 to 20 inch difference. That's where we're possibly seeing a lot less rain and a lot less precipitation. Now we're looking at the slightly above average precipitation. We have 2 areas as well. We have one area into the northern plains. And that's where you could possibly seeing some snow coming in these areas. Again, just mainly being the mountain snow in the Rockies, but we could be seeing some more snow, as March is the best snow chance throughout areas from Montana and the northern plains. So definitely look like we can see a lot more snow to the northern plains. So if we really even have any named storms this March, it's very most likely going to stay out there into the north central part of the United States, not necessarily coming out there all the way into the eastern coast. So that's basically what we're seeing there. And then we have another area of slightly above average precipitation that's going to be out for the south central and all the way out there into the mid-Atlantic near southern Virginia. Again, not necessarily feel it's going to be mostly rain, of course, as it is the southeast and getting closer to spring. It would be mostly severe weather and very heavy downpours, as we're going to be seeing a whole week of rain basically in these areas. Definitely be getting a ton of precipitation the first days of March, and now into the areas of the dead center, southeast, and south central. That's where we can getting moderately above average precipitation. That's what definitely being a lot of rain, either with nor'easters, any snowstorms. That even if we do have snowstorms, any snowstorms coming from the Great Lakes or northern plains that bring in rain down here. General severe weather, any Gulf precipitation, precipitation. And now we're looking at the temperature outlook here. So basically, we're seeing a chance for warmer into the west and cooler in the east, which is actually good. I really don't want to start seeing a huge jump from 40s all the way up to 70s. I really want to maintain the 50s and 60s, and that could be the case throughout much of the east. So we're not just straight up jumping to spring temperatures, and that is why we are going to be seeing a late start throughout much of the east due to the cold air maintaining the eastern half of the 1/3 or 2/3 of the eastern part of the United States. And also, again, we'll be starting in slightly below average temperatures. Again, it's possibly going to maintain up to maybe really only 3 to 8 degrees below average. Again, we could be seeing some cold fronts throughout March coming once in a while, but they won't be very bad. It won't be up to 15 degrees below average. And again, for the slightly below average, it's not going to be like this for the whole month. That's why you guys are in the slightly below average. It's not because we're seeing a ton of cold fronts moving in these areas, and they're going to be so frequent that it's going to cause it to be slightly below average for the whole month. It's because we're going to be seeing much of March at a time, mainly from beginning to mid-March, and then by end of March, really, or after mid-March, it's going to start warming up. So it's going to be coming on and off throughout March. It won't be a whole monthly thing of cold temperatures. But for the areas in the second shade of blue, that's a different case. That's a different story. So and for the second shade, there's a better chance that when we do have cold fronts moving in, they're obviously going to be a lot colder and bring a lot colder impacts and maybe Appalachian snowfall. And also, not only that, but these cold fronts, the cold air will last a lot longer if you're in the second shade of blue, a lot longer, maybe all the way up to end of March. So, all depending on whether the ridge stays how it is or not. And now for the western coast, where we have slightly above average temperatures throughout areas from much of the south, just the general western United States, not necessarily going all the way to the Pacific Northwest, but again, also with this, it's not going to be too bad. It's not going to be a whole month thing. It's just, it's going to be warm for much of March, but not the whole month. Again, doesn't mean we're not going to have cold air moving in the west. Again, this is averagely. It's not meaning every single day, every single hour is going to be like this. And then for the second shade of orange, we have moderately above average temperatures. That's, of course, we'll be seeing the heat lasting a lot longer and then being just a lot warmer. And here is my map here for the general forecast, and it's actually again, it's not having too many shades or anything, but so we're gonna be starting at the southeast here in the blue blue color, not a light blue, but the kind of mid blue color. That's where we have colder and very wet, and then it's gonna maintain mostly in the southeast, not moving up to the Ohio Valley. Again, it's going to be very cold in these areas, and again, also going to be very wet. So it's going to be another, could be an extension to the cold rain that I don't like. But as long as we have some cold days, not super warm days, not until April, I might as well just enjoy this month. And again, March isn't the best month for precipitation or weather. It's going to be unpredictable because it's March, so we can have a lot of big snowstorms or maybe no snowstorms. So again, March is not my favorite month when it comes to doing the weather and all that, but so now we're going to be looking at the light blue color, and we actually have a lot of the United States under this blue color. We actually have two areas, one in the southwest and then one throughout much of the eastern United States. Again, that's flip-flop. So I feel bad for the people in the flip-flops, but again, yes, we had to have a flip-flop in this map because, like I said, in March, it's not like a specific area like in winter where we know what areas can be like that or precisely. Again, this is going to be where March is in between, again, spring and winter. We can see in between any of those. So in the flip-flop, we can see very warm at some points. We can see very cold some points. Maybe rain or snow. Again, not necessarily, the snow's not really included for the areas in the Ozarks and Tennessee. That's mainly included for the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast. But again, there's going to be in the flip-flop, whether it's going to be severe weather, cold, chilly rain, very wet or very dry. Because again, like we saw in the precipitation outlook, again, it was very dry in the Great Lakes and very wet in the Southeast. And between that, we have the areas near Tennessee and all that. And that's also that also applies for the southwestern region. The flip-flop, that's going to be where we have a ton of wet, just a lot of precipitation moving in, or at some points very dry. Could be seeing maybe some severe weather moving in these areas, or maybe even mountain snow. So we have all these factors around this that I can't put wet or dry for these areas, because again, then it's not going to be like that for much of the month like the other shades. So we're just going to be seeing a whole lot of ingredients coming in these areas in the southwest. Now we're looking at the dark blue, and that's cold and drier again. If we have any cold fronts that will bring in very cold temperatures, like really feeling the late start to spring, then that's going to be out there into the Mid-Atlantic, or sorry, not the Mid-Atlantic, the Midwest. And again, it's not going to be wet where you could be seeing major blizzards. It's going to be mainly dry. So basically, most of March in the Great Lakes and Plains, it's going to be mainly very cold, but also maybe just sunny or cloudy. Not necessarily going to be seeing a ton of precipitation, snow, and rain. But again, it doesn't mean we're not going to be seeing snow or rain in these areas. It's just going to be below average. But again, going to be cold and dry in these areas. And the dark blue, time for the red, that's where we'll be seeing severe weather. So general, getting closer to tornado season, we will start seeing this severe weather getting a lot worse with overday heating, temperatures warming up and all that, seeing some less cold front as we get closer and closer to, or deeper and deeper to March. And then for the light blue, or sorry, the light green, we have wet. So again, we're going to be seeing a ton of rain, maybe even snow moving these areas, as March is quite the favor throughout these areas into the northern plains and western United States when it comes to snow. So again, not only we're going to be seeing a ton of snow or rain, it's going to be above average as well, but it's going to be mainly very wet, and that could also include snow. And then for the white, we have mountain snow. Again, it's going to be continuing seeing these mountain snow, nothing really different out of the ordinary. Again, we'll still see these temperatures staying below freezing until really late May in these areas. So you guys will be under mountain snow for quite a long time when it comes to monthly forecasts. And then throughout the orange, we have dry and warm. So again, it really sucks, but you guys have been in the dry and warm throughout ever since really December, November. So again, you guys are just going to really stay dry and warm, but not big difference. Not really going to really feel the difference unless you were in that second shade, which is much of Southern California. And then for the brown, the Pacific Northwest, we have drier, so not going to be seeing the flooding threats where all the heavy rain in Seattle or Portland this March, but maybe next March. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and bye guys.